Hi, I'm Matt. When I started Firelance Media, I did it because I was in love with training. I love being able to use pictures and video to help instructors show students some of the finer points of what they were doing. I was a student first, photographer second, and that philosophy has stayed core to everything that I do. That said, I've noticed a trend lately that concerns me. As more and more instructors, Insta-famous stars, and other gun folks scramble for attention, they're utilizing the dropping cost of technology and the reach of social media to get imagery from their training sessions. This can be either a very good thing or a very bad thing. It's good because the more that people can understand safe weapon manipulation, the better off we are as an entire community. If it gets more people to the range and into classes, then great. Personally, I love focusing on people actually having fun at class. What's better than shooting with your friends? However, what I'm seeing is that these same people are more concerned with getting a good picture or trying to outdo each other with video or running the most ridiculous drill rather than focusing on safety. But let's qualify that for a minute. I'm not talking about guys like Pat Rogers that have spent just as much time behind a camera as a gun and have forgotten more than I'll ever know. I'm also not talking about pure dirt, the stupid stuff that idiots do in the range to try to get attention and it lands on film. Don't get me wrong, that's just more ammo for the anti-gun crowd, but we all know you can't fix stupid. I'm also not talking about situations where photographers are hired for a specific product shoot where everyone goes into it knowing there'll be cameras around. We just finished shooting the vehicle CQB instructional video and everyone on that set knew there'd be cameras in all sorts of locations. What I really mean are those of us that are in some facet of media, be it a journalist on the range, a production company hired to cover a class, or just someone with a large social media following or fan base. We're beginning to be the problem. You can dismiss this all you want, but the images that we, meaning the collective we, put out are used and studied and copied. The pictures and the video that we put out directly influence how people view guns, how companies market, and how people train. Let that sink in for a second and feel the weight of that responsibility. However, on the non-media side, meaning guys that don't do this for a living, how many videos do you see on YouTube where some dude on a range is doing something that just makes your jaw drop? And then it gets a couple 100,000 views, and then we talk about it on the forums, and then it's everywhere. I guarantee more people saw that crappy YouTube clip than whatever well-produced video was just released by me or anybody else. But the potential positive or negative influence is there in both cases. And just to be clear, this is not a new media versus old media debate. This is about you have a camera in your hand, so use it wisely. When you're getting a picture and it's more about making the instructor look good or thinking about how many likes you'll get or what it means in dollars, you've lost all sight of what it is we should be doing. If you go to a class and get in the way of students learning, you are the problem. If you compromise the safety of a class, you are what is wrong. At open enrollment classes, students should be focused on learning, not being part of a commercial. Too many times I see pictures or video that I know put the photographer in an unsafe situation or cause the student to be a little bit jittery. But I hear a lot of folks saying, Matt, you're a hypocrite. You shoot classes all the time. Hell, you sell the pictures that you shoot at classes. Yep, I do. But in order to get those shots, I use the longest lenses that I can use. I use gear that allows me to crop an image and still have it look good rather than jeopardize the safety of the shooter or the instructor. I stay as far away from the students as I can until we really reach a level of comfort where I can get closer. Even then, I'm not exactly doing wartime journalism. I'm taking pictures in a class. Have I ever gotten too close? Probably. You'd have to ask the instructors that I work with, but I'm always assessing the level of comfort of the students on the line with me being around. The last thing I need is someone being a little bit too jumpy with a gun in their hands. I ask instructors permission whenever I think I may even potentially cause some disruption. Here's a quick story. I was at a class last year in New Hampshire and thought it would be cool to use a quadcopter for a top-down shot. The instructor said it was cool, so I fired it up. What I realized within seconds was that the students were starting to focus on the noise and watching the drone rather than listening to the instructor. I shut it down before I ever got the shot, It's just not worth it to me to rob someone of the opportunity to learn something that may save their life. The way I approach it is I put the instructor first, staying out of his or her way, and certainly not putting myself in a position where I become a distraction. You pay a lot of money to go to classes, and sure, it's cool to get some glory shots of you at gun camp, but that should never outweigh what it is you are there to do, which is learn. And any instructor that cares more about getting pictures for the sake of social media rather than the welfare of their students should be given a second thought. Students and safety first, pictures second. There are no debates. When I see video and pictures come from classes where it's clear the cameraman was hovering very close, I just shake my head because here's the crux of my argument. Not only can trying to get that picture cause a bad situation in that moment, that picture may lead to some hobbyist putting themselves in harm's way just to get a similar shot or copy what they see. They don't have the context and think that they can just replicate the scenario. It may lead to a student not getting every penny's worth of the training that they paid for. But nothing happened, you say. It's fine. It was a cool picture. That's like saying, I'm just going to toss this gun in my waistband with no holster. It'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Listen, I'm not trying to be the moral center of this business. You do you. But at the end of the day, we have a serious responsibility to make sure that the work we're putting out benefits the community and those in it. There are a lot of people that look to us to cover the events within this sport, market products, and help others get trained. Either take that responsibility seriously or not. It's only your reputation on the line. Thanks.